Fox News.
742 News Radio 102.9 KARN. First News, Kevin Miller talking to Senator Tom Cotton. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, Kevin. It's good to be on with you for one final day of the 2020 campaign. If you haven't voted, I hope you're on the way to the polls now.
No, I'm here.
Your listeners, how's that? Your listeners.
We'll go with that. And I have already voted. Yes, I have. Senator, with that and the election, I mean, President Trump has really been hitting the campaign trail hard. What is your feeling? Do you feel like he's going to take this election?
I think it's on the knife's edge, so I don't want to hazard a guess. I just want to encourage everyone to go out and vote. Obviously, the president's been having multiple campaign stops every day. I think in a lot of states where they've been very tight, a lot of Republicans and a lot of Trump supporters are coming home, places like Iowa and Ohio and North Carolina. And I think until late in the evening, maybe for ticking over until tomorrow, we won't know for sure. I do think that my fellow Republican senators, though, I've been campaigning with a lot over the last 3 or 4 months, are going to hold on. I think we'll hold on to the Senate majority in the Republican Senate. But it all comes down not to what you say and what I say. It's not the media and the politicians. It's the voters. So it's in your hands, listeners.
No doubt. Senator, the president has suggested that if he did lose, he wouldn't leave the White House. Now, the U.S., of course, is known for the peaceful transfer of power. What if that does happen? And what are your thoughts on that?
Kevin, I haven't heard him suggest that, and I haven't talked to him about the scenario for when he loses because we both are counting on him to win. I'd point out that it's some of the Democrats who seem to be prepared to wage a war of attrition against the Trump victory. You know, Hillary Clinton said that Joe Biden should concede under no circumstances, and Hillary Clinton's former campaign chairman, when they ran a war game about what would happen in the transition, and he played Biden's campaign team, said that he would encourage California, Oregon, and Washington to secede. So I think this is just another case of Democrats projecting their own insecurities and neuroses onto Donald Trump and the Republicans.
Senator, there have been any number of instances where the president has suggested that. That's why I'm asking that. I mean, you can Google it and find it, but I'm curious. Also, too, down ballot Republicans, if for some reason, and I feel like they will, but if they don't hold the Senate, what is your plan to fight back against the Democratic policies and agenda?
Well, I don't want to even imagine it for one moment, Kevin, because if they do not hold the Senate, if we do not hold the Senate, it's not just that Democrats are going to raise our taxes and take away your health insurance on the job and use your tax dollars to fund partial birth abortion. They plan to rig the rules of our democracy, to fundamentally change the rules of the game. They want to pack the Supreme Court. They want to make Washington, D.C. a state, so the swamp has as many senators as we do here in Arkansas. They want to eliminate the Electoral College so presidential candidates never campaign in small or rural states again. They want to give amnesty and voting rights to 15 million illegal immigrants. They want to override their own state election law. That's why it's so vital that we control the Senate so we do not allow the Democrats to fundamentally change the rules of our democracy.
It's Kevin Miller talking to Senator Tom Cotton. Senator, you've been on the road campaigning for a lot of Republican colleagues. You've talked about that. Meanwhile, too, the Senate in recess. What is your game plan after the election? When you get back to Washington, what are the things that are your top priorities?
So when we'll get back into session next week, Kevin. Obviously, this depends on who wins the election and what the attitude of cooperation is coming out of the Democratic House. But I continue to believe that we need a coronavirus relief package, especially for those people who are still struggling so much because their jobs are still facing limitations, whether it's restaurants or bars or music teachers, karate instructors, flight attendants, and pilots. I meet them all across the state, all across the country, really. Plus, as the virus surges all across the country, I think we need to make sure that we have the tools available to our schools to stay open, as the case is here in Arkansas, but also to reopen across the country. So I'll continue to try to work with my Democratic colleagues to get legislation on which we all agree that doesn't have a lot of extraneous, unrelated material, so we can get the relief to those who need it most.
Senator Tom Cotton, good to have you on this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day. 7:40.